She was as long as the Eiffel Tower is tall. Heavier than the Titanic. And she could fire a shell the size of a small car over 25 miles. Her name was Musashi, and she was one of the most powerful warships ever to touch the ocean. But despite her might, she was doomed from the moment she left port. In 1940, as Japan's war machine expanded across the Pacific, the Imperial Navy launched a secret project to dominate the seas. The result was the Yamato-class battleships. Vessels so massive, so armored, and so powerful, they were meant to crush the U.S. fleet in a single confrontation. Musashi was the second of these monsters. Built in extreme secrecy at the Mitsubishi shipyards in Nagasaki, her specs were staggering. 72,000 tons fully loaded. 18-inch main guns, the largest ever mounted on a warship. Thick armor plating that could shrug off most known torpedoes and shells. But there was a problem. While Japan was investing in behemoths like Musashi, the United States was building aircraft carriers, fast, flexible, and capable of striking from miles away. The future of naval warfare was changing. And Musashi? She was a leviathan built for a past that was slipping away. When she was launched in 1940, Musashi was a symbol of Japanese power. By 1944, she was an enormous target. Her commanders knew it. Her crew felt it. And on October 24, 1944, the sea would come to collect her. It's October 1944. The Japanese Empire is losing ground fast. American forces are closing in on the Philippines. And Japan launches one final gamble to turn the tide, Operation Shogo. Musashi is placed at the center of the plan, part of the first diversion attack force, sailing straight into the largest naval battle in history, the Battle of Leyte Gulf. She moves with Yamato and a fleet of cruisers and destroyers. Their objective: smash through the U.S. fleet and attack the landing forces at Leyte. But American intelligence already knows they're coming. As Musashi enters the Sibuyan Sea, U.S. scout planes spot the fleet. Then, the skies open. At 10:30 a.m., the first wave hits. Dozens of American bombers and torpedo planes begin their assault. Musashi, massive and slow, becomes the focus of every pilot. Her anti-aircraft guns roar. Dozens of fighters are torn from the sky. But there are too many. A single torpedo slams into her port side. Then another. Then 3 more. By noon, Musashi is bleeding. Still, she fights on. Her massive armor shrugs off some bombs. Her gunners strike back with everything they have. But the sea is relentless, and the sky shows no mercy. More torpedoes smash into her starboard hull, unbalancing the ship. Bombs crater her deck. Water floods her compartments. She starts to list. But she does not slow down. Musashi absorbs hit after hit. And still, she refuses to sink. By 3 p.m., she's taken over 10 torpedoes and 15 bombs. She's still afloat. Crews below deck work in darkness, waist-deep in water, trying to keep her alive. Above, flames rage, steel buckles, and the horizon keeps swarming with planes. By 5 p.m., Musashi is listing badly. The order comes. Prepare to abandon ship. But many will never make it out. She was built to take the worst mankind could throw at her. And on this day, she did. But the ocean was about to win. By the evening of October 24, 1944, Musashi had been hit by a total of 19 torpedoes and 17 bombs. No other battleship in history had endured that kind of punishment and remained afloat. But now, she was losing the fight. She listed hard to port, her hull twisted and flooded. Below deck, men drowned in total darkness as bulkheads collapsed. Above, fire had swallowed entire gun decks. Some of her massive 18-inch turrets had gone silent. Others were shattered. Yet still, she refused to sink. Crewmen wept at their stations. Many refused to abandon ship, choosing instead to go down with the vessel they had sworn to protect. Officers gathered on the bridge to salute her final descent. Across the deck, wounded sailors clung to twisted steel, watching the horizon vanish behind black smoke. At 7:30 p.m., Musashi rolled hard to port and began her final plunge. There was no explosion. No violent break. Just silence. A 72,000-ton Leviathan, descending beneath the waves in one long, slow, heart-wrenching motion. As her bow slipped below the surface, witnesses reported hearing no sound except the sea itself swallowing her whole. The last super-battleship Japan had to offer was gone. Over 1,000 men died in the sinking. Roughly 1,300 survived, pulled from oil-slicked waters in the darkness. For decades, the exact location of the wreck was unknown. She vanished into the depths of the Sibuyan Sea, somewhere beneath 3,000 feet of water. Musashi had been erased from the surface of history, but not from memory. She became a ghost of the war. A sunken giant. A final monument to an empire crumbling at sea. But years later, one expedition would find her again. And what they saw froze them in place. For over 70 years, Musashi lay undisturbed beneath the Sibuyan Sea. No sonar scan ever confirmed her location. No diver ever reached her. She became a legend beneath the waves, one of the largest warships ever lost in combat, completely swallowed by the sea. But in 2015, a billionaire technologist and his crew set out to find her. That man was Paul Allen, co-founder of Microsoft. And he had the tools, a research yacht, advanced deep-sea submersibles, and a lifelong obsession with World War II shipwrecks. On March 2, 2015, the team aboard the RV Petrel sent a remotely operated vehicle down into the darkness, over 3,000 feet below the surface. And then, they saw it. First, twisted steel. Then a broken gun turret. Then, the unmistakable silhouette of a super-battleship. The footage revealed a haunting sight. Musashi's massive 18-inch gun turrets, still in place. Her hull, torn and warped, but still recognizable. Fragments of the imperial chrysanthemum crest, rusted, faded, but still present. The wreck was eerily well preserved. No fish. No movement. Just silence. It wasn't just a shipwreck. It was a war grave, the final resting place of over 1,000 sailors. Allen's team documented the site with care and respect. No artifacts were taken. No intrusion. Only images of history frozen in the deep. For historians, it was a breakthrough. For the families of those lost, it was a quiet moment of closure. And for the rest of the world, it was a chilling reminder of what war leaves behind. Musashi hadn't disappeared. She had simply waited, beneath the waves, beneath memory, for someone to remember her name. Musashi was more than a battleship. She was a symbol of an empire, built on pride, power, and a belief that size could shape destiny. But war proved otherwise. By the time Musashi was launched, the world had already moved past the age of battleships. Aircraft carriers ruled the seas. Speed, flexibility, and air power had replaced brute strength. And Musashi, for all her size and armor, couldn't escape that truth. She was a masterpiece of engineering, and a monument to outdated thinking. Her story is often overshadowed by Yamato, her more famous sister. But in many ways, Musashi's sacrifice was greater.